morning, everybody. Dale from Start Racing here, and we are at Sonoma Raceway once again. Today we're here for a NASA HPDE day. So we're getting HPDE groups 1, 2, 3, and 4. We are getting some spec racing series. We are getting some time trials. It's a little wet out here this morning. We got a little sprinkle on our way in. You can kind of see some wispy clouds still lingering about, but you know, we couldn't get these green grassy hills and the beautiful Sonoma Raceway scenery without a little bit of rain. So, you know, we'll take it as it comes. But hopefully, you know, the track dries out quick. You know, we want to see safe conditions, but you know, also a great opportunity for drivers to get some seat time in wet conditions. It's not currently raining, so the track will probably have some driving lines getting dried out, hopefully, you know, by mid-morning, early afternoon, and get to see what people can really do. This is quite a view this morning, though. You can see we have an insane sunrise, beautiful clouds, beautiful green hills, and a lot of beautiful race cars. So can't wait to see what today holds. Thankfully was able to get another photography vest, get us some access into some good spots, get some great videos. I just got a gimbal for my here iPhone. Not the best camera in the world, but it's a great camera, and I thought I'd get a gimbal to stabilize it up and give you guys some better content, some good videos, really get some fun car shots. So yeah. Back to business. No problems. favorite tow truck mobbing. right, everybody, it's about time to wrap up the day. Been another great NASA event here at Sonoma Raceway. As our home track, it feels like NASA is also our home event. They're great organizers. They pack the paddock every time they have an event. They have drivers and cars of every level, from beginners to well-experienced time trials and spec series, from Spec Miata to Toyota GR series, and all, 1 through 4 levels of HPDE. It was really cool to see, more amazing cars out here today. There was all types of track monsters. It was awesome. And sun ended up peeking out. It was a little damp and windy in the morning, but we persevered out here in the elements, getting the shots for you and you, everybody. So don't forget to show a little appreciation. Maybe throw us a like, a comment, subscribe. That'd be amazing. We look forward to putting out more content like this. I'm kind of focusing on making more of these sights and sound type videos. Might make it a series. This might be part 2, might be part 3 coming. But I really think it's worth showing what it's like a day at the racetrack. It's not crowded. HPDE days, you can sit wherever you want. You just, at this particular event, $10 to get in, you get to see tons and tons of cars, 6-7 figures worth of cars on the track at all times. It's awesome. You get to see some competition, get to see people fighting for lap times. It's amazing, So if you appreciate this content, want to see more of it, don't forget to subscribe, like, leave us a comment, good or bad, what you liked, what you didn't. Maybe I'll take notes, maybe I won't, but I appreciate your support, and I look forward to putting out more videos like this. And here's to another day at Sonoma Raceway, and don't forget to start racing. Let's go.